All right, we are live.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
If I could, I'd like to call to order the December 10th, 2020 meeting of the Neighborhood School Development Partnership. I'm glad to see everyone and hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. A fulfilling Thanksgiving, if you know what I mean. So, the first order of business is the approval of the minutes of October 29th meeting. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, great. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the October 29th meeting. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Great. The minutes have been approved. And next up, Alex, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. So we'll have a very brief agenda today. We don't have any presentation or discussion items other than our action item today, which we'll dive into. But I guess before we do that, I guess I do just want to ask if there are any general questions, comments, things that you think would be helpful that we can provide more information on as we're coming close to winding down Operation Fix-It. It's a little hard to believe that as we approach the end of this calendar year, we're also getting ready to award the last of our contracts. So I guess I just kind of wanted to ask that open-ended question, if there's anything that we can do to be of help for you as this important board subcommittee to do your work.
Alex, I can't think of anything. You guys have been very responsive to the course of the year and the course of this program. And so you guys have been very, you answer our questions as they come up. And so we certainly appreciate that, but I don't have any questions. I'm not quite sure if the other members do. Okay.
Well, if there is nothing, we will go ahead and move to the action item today, if that's okay.
Yep.
Sure.
So today we're bringing before you a recommendation to award a design build contract to the Brewer Garrett Company. I'm going to have my project manager, Linda Ergeson, make the presentation on this today. So you'll be seeing a version of what was presented last week at Technical Oversight. Linda will kind of walk you through all those steps that we used in terms of coming to this recommendation that you're going to see before you today. This is our second of 3 contracts that we anticipate for our summer 2021 HVAC work. This package we're calling Phase 9. That final package will be Phase 10. It is currently in the proposal phase. So you've got a contract before you today that will be with your recommendation would then move on to the board to seek their approval next week. And then that final package would come through for January's Nsdp. So, and that would round out the very last of our HVAC work as part of Operation Fix-It. And so with that, Linda, I'll ask you to go ahead and move into your presentation, please.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm project manager for capital improvement. I'm going to skip down to our first item. This is for 2 schools, for Eastmore Academy High School at 417 Wyant Avenue and the Columbus City Preparatory for boys at 3450 Medway Avenue. The estimated budget for this project is between $5.7 million and $6.2 million. And the scope of work for both of these buildings was to replace the existing systems and some limited renovation work where necessary to give the buildings heating and cooling in the classrooms and selected alternates such as the cafeteria and administrative area. The work is expected to commence early to late spring and through the summer of 2021. And we expect the work to be completed by the start of school. So here we have going forward is our what am I doing? Copy of our advertisement, letting all the bidders know what we're requiring and asking for phase 9. Legal notice. This details out what the project description is, what the design criteria is, what the delivery is for design build. The request for qualifications, scope of services that are expected. Estimated budget, what the LEDE participation goal is, which is 20%. It has a schedule outline for the design build process, bidding and GMP. This is a copy of our score sheet that we provide to all of the interested bidders. This lets them know exactly what we'll be scoring them on and what they need to focus on for their submissions. This way everyone understands what's expected. This is our sign-in sheet for the prospective bidders that attended our meeting and for the request for qualifications. We had good interest in these projects, so we're happy to see that. This is the request for qualifications sample from Brewer Garrett. It just gives you an idea of, the book is actually, very thick, but this is just a small snippet of what they present in terms of resumes. They let us know exactly who's going to be on the project and leading. This is our shortlist letter for the first round of meetings, and this outlines who is shortlisted, which in this case was the Brewer Garrett Company, Train, and Robertson Construction. The other bidders were notified of this as well. For all the submissions, these are the scores for those submissions. And as you can see, Brewer Garrett scored the highest at 260. Train came in at 230, and Robertson came in at 229. All others were behind them. This is the congratulations letter for being shortlisted to each of the shortlisted firms, also giving them details on what to expect, what's expected for the rest of the GMP process. And Robertson. This is our request for proposal. This is an AIA form that we use that is fairly standard in outlining the design build project. This outlines further, again, our schedule going forward for when they need to turn things in and interviews. It also outlines the alternates that we had bid, which you can see down here. We had the base bid. We had an alternate for the gym, auditorium, cafeteria, and kitchen area. These alternates, and this is for both schools, are pretty typical of a lot of our projects because we have to stretch things as far as we can go. This is the Rfp Addenda. Sometimes these pages go on. This is our criteria design that was developed by advanced engineering consultants whom we hired to put together the design build criteria documents. These documents outline the minimum requirements for the HVAC project and what the design builders need to accomplish. This is, again, a sampling of that. Here is the questions that during this process, when they were doing their submissions, firms were allowed to ask questions, go through the buildings, look at the equipment, and this is AEC's response to all of the firms' questions. All of the firms receive, unless it's a proprietary question, they receive all the answers, even if another firm asked the question. So that way everyone is able to cover anything that may have been crucial information. This is a snippet of Brewer Garrett's presentation packet for the GMP submission. The Brewer, I see Alex made a little update here. Thank you. You can see for the GMP proposal best value selection, Brewer Garrett scored 90, Train scored 78, and Robertson Construction Services scored 74 points. This is our letter of recommendation from Advanced Engineering Consultants outlining all the benefits that they felt that Brewer Garrett was providing in addition to being the best selection. Here is our legislation for the board. We're slated to go to the board on December 15th for the project amount in $5,296,589.18. The expected LEDE participation is 25% at Brewer Garrett. And here is a sample of our AIA agreement form for the bidders, for the accepted person. And here is our LEDE form that they filled out and committed 25% to. Do you have any questions?
Thanks, Linda. I do have a question. I noticed that there was a great variation in the scores, and to me, I guess it's a little surprising. Is there something special about the project that kind of caused that big difference in the score? Because we've got companies that obviously don't work for us as a school system before. Is there something about this particular project that kind of affected they responded?
Are you referring to the three GMP competitors, the 90, 78, and 74?
Yeah, it's that. But when you go and look at the overall score, we've got Brewer Garrett at 260, and I think the last one was around 160 or so. And then even between the second and third, it would still seem to be a little wider gap than one would have expected. So
yeah,
it's an observation.
I can with certainty tell you that for the first round for the shortlist, I can certainly tell you that Brewer Garrett performs very well in the way their presentations together. Everyone agrees they just don't leave anything out when they do their presentations, in terms, especially the ones that they hand in to us. So that is one reason I know for certain that would give them a higher score and an advantage. Other than that, a lot of time, and you're asked, now this is like way back, several months back, I'd have to go back in my notes. But as far as I know, with Train, with us all three scoring, it could have been any one of us that saw something that we didn't think was meeting, where we wanted it to be the top score. So with how many people did we have reviewed this time, Alex? Was it?
There were 3 reviewers.
Yeah.
One thing I want to add, Mr. Williams. So Linda, I don't know if you can go back to the general score sheet, and we're going to be careful to not get too deep into details, because one of the things we would be careful about is not making public record items that are not public records until the board takes action. But I know on this particular phase, we have been more, so what we're seeing is the need to drive more of our decision-making around cost. So in our previous phases, we were using qualifications as 60% of the evaluation and cost as 40%, really driving towards quality. And what we're seeing is that we're getting very highly qualified vendors, period. So what we decided to do, because we were starting to see prices escalating in a way that we weren't so happy with, was we flipped that scoring matrix and we made it 60% price and 40% scoring. And so without giving you a tremendous amount of detail, I can tell you that we saw a pretty wide difference in the guaranteed maximum prices that came in on this phase. And that is part of what skewed those numbers so greatly between the best value number 1, Brewer Garrett, and even the number 2 selection, the Train Company.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's enough. I was speaking in general, didn't want to get too much into the details, but I appreciate the response.
No, it was a great question. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay, then with that, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve project 21002.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Jones. So been moved and seconded to approve project 21002. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Well, thanks, Linda, and thanks, guys. It's been approved. Appreciate it much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And there's no other action items on the agenda. We always like to give our board members an opportunity to make comments, followed up by the administration if you so desire. Okay, great. Then that was a pretty good, pretty quick meeting, and we certainly like those kind of things, especially when they're productive.
Yes.
Are there any other comments for the good of the order before we adjourn?
If I may just really quickly, Mr. Co-Chair. So one thing I want to make sure people are aware of. So you should have a hold on your calendar for our January Nsdp meeting, but we have not yet populated the calendar for all of 2021. So Cheryl and I will be working together to get those invites out to you. So you'll at least have holds on your calendar for our full schedule, full slate of meetings for calendar year 2021. And then just like we've done this year, we'll give you updates each month with those specific invites that include the Zoom links and any other information you might need. So look for that on your calendar.
Okay, thank you much, sir. As a formality, we need to have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Move second.
Second.
And I am going to assume that everyone will say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Well, guys, I will love to wish you all a very happy and safe holiday season. And thank you for all the work that you've done, your time commitment to this cause, and it's very much appreciated. And you all be safe.
You too. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone.